morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and today's shout out goes to Max Air 420. Max Air was first to say first in one of my recent videos, and thus wins this shout out, so congratulations. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and I have a review of a neat new airplane for you today, folks. This is the new Eachine Miss Helen Brushless P-51D warbird. It's an upgrade to the warbird series from Eachine and Volantex. Both of them came out with previous warbirds in the P-51Ds. They also have other warbirds out there. But here's the original Eachine P-51D that came out back in 2019. It's a nice flyer, excellent flyer actually, with a 400 millimeter wingspan along with the V2 version of the Volantex version. But both of these are powered by brushed motors. Additionally, they're tiny. Okay, 400 millimeter wingspan makes these kind of hard to fly in manual mode. Okay, these do have gyro assist, which is great. They fly excellent with gyro assist, but you take them out of that and try to fly them manually. They're tiny, very lightweight. I think 65 grams. The wind bounces them along quite a bit, so they make it very difficult to fly these without the gyro system energized. So Volantex and Eachine, I guess. Well, actually, I'm pretty sure it's probably Volantex. Let me move these out of the way. Went back to the drawing board and redesigned these aircraft. This is the Eachine version to increase the size of the aircraft. We now have 500 millimeter wingspan, and also increase the weight of the aircraft. It now weighs 118 grams. Additionally, for this bigger aircraft, they put in a brushless motor. Okay, so we don't have to worry about the motor burning out. You know, it should last pretty much the life of this airplane, you know, the airframe itself, before that motor will fail or its ESC will fail, hopefully. And additionally, with the bigger size and bigger weight, this should be more resistant to wind buffeting, so that you could possibly fly this in manual mode more easily as compared to the 400 millimeter warbirds that came out previously. Now, I mentioned it only weighs 118 grams with the battery installed in it. That means this does not require registration in nearly all countries or remote ID. In fact, I can't think of a country that would require this to be registered, unless your country is very strict on RC aircraft. It is a ready-to-fly airplane, like I mentioned. It comes with its own transmitter bound to the aircraft, ready to fly out of the channel or out of the box. It's a true 4-channel aircraft with aileron control, throttle control, elevator control, and rudder control. It's constructed of flexible and crash-resistant EPP foam, so it should take a beating pretty well. But as always, I recommend you fly these in grassy fields, folks, to minimize the damage to your aircraft, because you will crash. Everybody crashes. But let's see, even for those crashes, it comes with with an additional spare propeller. Now, that's one of the shortcomings I see with this. I was hoping they'd come out with more than just 2 propellers. Additionally, hopefully a 2-blade prop to include with this, but you get what you get. Actually, I'm not sure that, hold on. Okay, back to the propellers. I was hoping that the warbird series, the 400 millimeter warbird series, would work with this, but these are slightly smaller propellers, and the hubs are quite a bit different between the two. So no, these will, you know, if you're thinking maybe it'll work with the 400 millimeter warbird propellers, no, it will not. But they are snap-on, snap-off propellers, as you see here, as I demonstrate there. And the idea is that in a crash, these propellers will break off, and that'll minimize damaging the propellers and damaging the shaft or the motor in a crash. You know, quick disconnect propellers make that hard to do. Now, other things about it, let's talk about the look of this airplane. It is a beautiful plane, actually, if you look at it, folks. Very detailed, even down to the pilot. No longer do we have just a cutout of the pilot. We've got a little man in there now. Okay, a little 3-dimensional man inside that clear cockpit. Additionally, the airplane is beautiful. I gotta say, I love the colors. Its original Miss Helen color. This Miss Helen, by the way, was an aircraft that flew in World War II. Then, after the war, it transitioned to doing air shows. It's still doing them, but today, I believe in the UK, if I'm not mistaken. But all in all, you know, very beautiful airplane. Other thing about it is this tail wheel actually turns with the rudder. So that makes turning the aircraft pretty easy on the ground when you're doing ground taxis. So if you want to turn right or left, that wheel will turn with the elevator or with the rudder to turn the aircraft. Let's see, other things about it. Mention it comes with flight modes. Now, there are 3 selectable flight modes for this aircraft. That is with all the other Warbird series. We have beginner, we got mid, and we got expert. In beginner, it does have angle restrictions for bank angle and pitch angle that prevents the aircraft from rolling over. It makes a gentle flyer for beginner pilots. And if they get into problems with the aircraft, all they got to do is let go of this right stick, and the aircraft will quickly and automatically level itself. Now, it does have also a mid position. Okay, beginner position on this transmitter is all the way forward like that. Mid position in the center there sets the aircraft, increases the maximum bank angles of the aircraft and pitch angles, but it still has angle restrictions. It prevents it from rolling over, with the exception of doing a loop. You can actually do loops in mid position. If you pull back the stick, it'll allow the aircraft to do a full loop. And it makes it fun for intermediate pilots to go out and fly this particular aircraft. Now, in expert position, if you move this all the way back like so, let me make sure that I'm right about that. Yeah, expert is all the way back like so. That turns off all the angle restrictions and allows you to fly the aircraft in full manual mode. It also turns off all stabilization, so if any wind buffeting occurs, you're on your own. You got to maintain the aircraft, keep the aircraft in the air manually with wind buffeting. But without those angle restrictions and without flying in full manual mode, that allows you to do all those stunts that you wish with this aircraft. Roll it over, flip, do rolls and loops and whatever, Cuban 8s, all kinds of other fun things that you could do in expert mode. Again, being a 500 millimeter aircraft, a heavier aircraft, it should be easier to fly that as compared to the 400 millimeter Warbirds. Now, the controller also includes a stunt button right there. When you're in flight, if you press this stunt button, it will, even in beginner mode, it will allow you to do automatic stunts, rolls, and loops. To do such, while you're in flight, you press this button, and then to do a roll, automatic roll, the aircraft either push the stick left or right, and the aircraft will do a roll. Press the button again and pull back on the stick, and the aircraft will do an automatic loop, which makes it fun, for beginner pilots to actually impress their friends while they're out there flying, while actually doing automatic loops and rolls. It also has an automatic takeoff button, and to do that, to do an automatic takeoff with the throttle full down before takeoff, you press this button and then give it throttle, and then the aircraft will automatically take off, and then to a certain altitude, and then do circles in the sky until you take over with the sticks. Now, those circles will blow with the wind, so watch it, folks. It's not going to maintain its position in space, so it'll be doing circles and it'll be being blown with the wind. So be careful with that when you're doing the auto takeoff feature with that. Other things it does, it has auto return, one key return they call it, and that's not really true return to home, but what it will do is, if you set the aircraft in a direction and you're going to be flying down a field in that general direction, you're going to keep that aircraft down in that general direction. Before takeoff and before you arm the motors, you can set that general direction as the auto return from direction by pushing this button up and holding it up for a couple seconds until the tail surface will move right and left automatically, telling you that that direction has been set as the flying direction. And when you want to do an auto return, or actually fly the opposite direction, press down on this button here, which would normally be a throttle trim button. Just quick press down on it, and the aircraft will automatically turn around and fly back in the direction that it came from, that you're flying. So, set it in that direction and keep the aircraft in that direction. And when you want it to come back to you, just push down on that button, the aircraft will turn around and do a U-turn and fly back toward you. So that is the one key return. Again, that is not a true return to home, because if you're off to the left or off to the right when you press that button, or even behind you, the aircraft can actually fly away from you. So be careful using that particular feature. Other things about it, it does have telemetry warnings of low battery. And if it's a low battery of the aircraft, you'll hear 2 beeps on this controller, and the plane will actually beep. You'll hear 2 beeps from the plane. If there's a weak signal, you'll hear 4 beeps on your controller. That means you're flying too far away. Turn the aircraft and bring it back toward you. And also it has a new Find My Aircraft feature. And what that does is this has a built-in beeper, as I mentioned. It mentions low power beep. But say you crash in a grassy field and it's high grass and you're looking for your aircraft. All you need to do to find it is hold down this button, this throttle trim button. This is your 1-key return button. Hold it down for 3 seconds, and that will start the aircraft beeping so that you can find it in a field. Now, this can also be flown with a multi-protocol transmitter, and I'm going to try to demonstrate that too when we go out flying, using the V761 protocol. Just like with most of the other warbirds, this also uses the V761 protocol for flying. So, by the way, I was looking at this. It is even detailed. It has a cockpit, or it even has an instrument panel. I was trying to figure the word there in front of the pilot. So it actually looks really cool. I like it. The pilot is actually painted. Hand painted. Neat. Neat airplane. Okay, let's go over what you get in the box, folks. You get the instruction manual, relatively well-written instruction manual. You get the plane. You get 2 props, one for the aircraft and 1 spare. I wish they provide more spares, but that's what you get. You get 2 or 3 batteries, depending on which version that you order, or which bundled version. I recommend getting the 3 batteries. It only adds $4 to the cost. And by the way, these batteries that the aircraft uses are 2S, 7.4 volt, 400 milliamp hour, 25C batteries with red JST connector. This uses a red JST plug inside the aircraft. By the way, to put these batteries in, it's kind of tight in there, but I find the best way to do it for me was to put them up and down vertically like so, and try to stuff the wires in around it to close it. So push it down all the way in, plug it in, and then stuff the wires around it to hold the battery in place from jiggling around. You don't want that battery jiggling around inside the aircraft, because doing so could mess up the gyros while in flight and result in unforeseen things like rollovers. So be careful. You also get a battery charger for these 2S batteries, but again, these come with a balance plug on them, so you can charge them also on better battery chargers. If you have a hobby grade battery charger, say like I do, you can use that instead of this charger for it. And again, I mentioned this is not a spare. This is from my 400 millimeters, but I mentioned you get the 1 spare propeller, and of course you get the controller already bound to the aircraft, ready to go. By the way, it uses 4 AA batteries, and I'm using Walmart. I'm using Dollar Tree batteries, as you can see there, because they work. I just throw them away if they start to show weakness. So that is the new Miss Helen Brushless P-51D. I'm excited to fly it, folks. I really am. Let's take it out in the field and see how it flies. Hope you enjoy this flight. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and welcome to beautiful Pleasant Ridge Park for the flight of the Miss Helen. Now, we got a breeze today of about 5 to 7 miles per hour coming from that way, so we are going to be fighting wind. We'll see how this does in the wind, but let's get it in the air and see how this flies. Okay, first thing we need to do is plug in the battery, and as I mentioned before, I got the battery vertically inserted in there. Now I'm going to just plug in the battery connectors, and then we'll turn on the controller and bind it. So hold on. Okay, the battery is inserted, and turning on the controller, and it should be bound. And let me check the surfaces. Left, right, and left, right, down, and up. Okay, before we take off and before I arm the motor, we're going to set that direction there as the 1-key return takeoff direction, which means the opposite direction going down the field will be the return direction when I activate it. And to set it, I press this button up and hold it up until the back rudder moves, as you've seen there. So let's do that one more time to show you. Pressing it, holding until you hear a beep, and that direction is set. Okay,
Now we can arm the motor, so I can arm it. Up and down, and now the motor should work. Okay, first off, let's try taxiing this thing. Since this has a tail gear on it, let's see how this taxis. Oh man, turning to the right. It taxis real nice. Very nice indeed. With that in mind, let's go over here. Oops, gave it a little too much. Let's go over here. Wind's blowing from that direction right now. Putting the tail back down. Turning it into the wind. And making sure we are in beginner right here. We're going to start off in beginner. And let's take to the air. It took right to the air, folks. I mean, with the wind actually made it easy to take to the air. It's very gentle, even with the wind. Hardly giving it any throttle at all. Okay, while it's up there, let's try that stunt button. Oh, cool. Coming the other way around. Stunt button, pulling back on the stick. I guess you got to give it more throttle to do a loop. Try turning it around. It's coming down lower actually too. We're way up high. Coming down lower. I'm hardly giving it any throttle at all, folks. It just wants to climb. Come down here. It's flying well in the wind. Okay, let's go over here, give it some, turn it around, and I'm going to give it some throttle. Didn't want to do a loop. Do I got to be in mid position? Let's go to mid position. Okay, coming down. And do manual loop with mid. Up and over, okay. And come down too, by the way. Cutting throttle, it's gliding right now. Out of the sun, out of the sun. Come down here. I'm trying to bring it down. It's got a little bit of upward pitch on the elevator, so let me trim that. Get some speed. Trimming downward. And flying it over there and doing a loop. And this is a mid position, folks, by the way. Mid position, you can really bank it. It bangs pretty sharp. And again, that wind is blowing good, so it don't seem to care. Loop-de-loop. Does it nicely, huh? Again, that's mid position. You can do manual loops in mid position, but that's about all you can do. Doesn't let you roll. How about coming around? I'm going back again. Throttling up and trying to barrel roll in mid position. So yes, this is flying very nicely. Let's bring it in close. Going back to beginner, I want to bring it in real close. Pretty cool, huh? Beautiful bird. Let's go the other way now. Beautiful, beautiful bird. Going up higher because I want to go try. We'll try manual. Okay, now I'm in manual. Oops, loops, rolls. It's flying nicely in manual. Can do all kinds of stunts with this thing, huh? Almost, folks. Had my finger on that switch. That switch comes in handy, huh? That beginner switch, going back to manual. Loops and rolls. Going back to manual again, or beginner, I'm sorry, because I was getting toward the sun there. Back to manual. Okay, let's bring it down close so you can see it. I'm flying too high and too wild. You know, this is my first flight with it. I don't want to crack it up yet, just yet. And it's windy. So bringing it down lower. And going around. It's quiet, isn't it? It's a very quiet bird. Very quiet indeed. Nice plane though, really nice plane. I like this. This is going to be a huge hit. These Volantex brushless birds, 500 millimeter, they're going to be a huge hit. Gliding, let's see this glide. Throttle is off. I'm gliding, still gliding. Gliding, 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 gliding. Glides nicely, look at that. Throttling back up. I was surprised how well that glide can glide. Glide it. What's the word? Okay. Turning on a dime in the wind here. I'm sorry, I wish it was less windy. Lake Erie this time of year, it's always windy. But I went manual for a bit. I ain't gonna do it down low, folks, because it's too windy. Let's go up higher again. Going back to manual. Aileron rolls. Up, going in the sun. Okay, back to manual. Loops, loops, and gliding in manual. Gliding in manual. Almost stalled it. Going back to beginner. Let's go to intermediate again. And coming down lower, throttling up. You can do that in mid position. And back to manual. You can do that in manual. Unfortunately, there we go. That was an auto roll, but doesn't seem to want to do loops. Oh, there we go. There we go. I take that back. Did an automatic loop. Once more. Roll. Come down here. Come down here and do that. Okay. Throttle it off. Gliding. Got to keep it closer. Okay, it's starting to get weak, but I'm not hearing the battery chirping yet, or the LVC warning yet. So let's just bring it down lower. I'm guessing we're going to be hearing the LVC here shortly, because I'm giving it more and more throttle. So let's go around the other way. But yeah, nice plane. Nice, nice, nice. Come in here closer. Too close. Well, there goes a test of that propeller. Now, again, I always recommend folks that you try to fly in grassy fields. It'll protect your aircraft better. If I did that on concrete, I guarantee this would be scuffed up big time. Let's see if I could take off from here. And giving a throttle. Ooh, 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 ooh. You got to give it gradual when you take. Oh, what was that beep? I think we're getting low on battery power, but let's try that again. Battery's connected. This time, you got to give it gradual throttle when you're taking off from dirt. Yeah, doesn't want to do it now. It's too sandy here, I guess, folks. So we're going to hand launch it. Hand launch it. Let me clean this. Okay, putting it back on again. Wind's that way. But yeah, I'm giving it more and more throttle here, which means our time is almost up with this battery. Now I do have a second battery with me today, and I do want to try flying this with my jumper multi-protocol transmitter, which we will do next. I'll try to do it next, if all goes well. But for the remaining of the flight, let's bring it in close. Just showing it up close. Flying by. Nice plane. Excellent looking plane. Excellent flying plane. I like it. I like it. Volantex Eachine makes these, or Eachine's marketing to Miss Helen. I checked on this. You know, this was manufactured by Volantex and marketed under the Eachine brand. And I do have a Volantex bird coming, P-51, which is, I guess, essentially the same thing, but with a different paint scheme. We'll find out when it gets here and I fly it. So, but, okay. Back to manual. Going over there. I don't want to go over there. So fun plane. Come back over here. Bumping it. Did a rudder turn there, now a bank turn, another bank turn. Fun plane, huh? So, yeah, another huge hit from Volantex and Eachine. Warbird series. I wonder what's next, what the next one is going to be. You know they're going to come out with more than just a P-51, folks. Volantex, if you're listening, Spitfire. Do the Spitfire. Other folks are going to disagree, but I want the Spitfire for next. We'll see. That's my favorite. That and the P-51 are both my favorites of the warbirds. Okay, gliding with that wind. Wind is coming. You know, it's a steady breeze of 7 miles per hour now. It's picking up with the sun rising a bit, but it's doing okay in it. Let's see if I can land it. Going down that way, coming around. Don't want to come down, never mind. Just there, hovering. Now this thing can fly slow when you want it to. I'm surprised. People were saying this flew fast, but no, I don't see it being a fast flyer. At least not mine. Maybe they had theirs weighted down big time in the nose. Maybe mine's a bit tail heavy. Yeah, I guess mine is a bit tail heavy with the placement of that. It all depends on the, well, almost got a haircut. All depends on the placement of that battery. And okay, there we go. Let's land you. I ain't gonna make it. I was trying to make it back here, but no. So now let's hear that beeping on the this and also that. That beeps also. So let's go get it. Can you hear it? I can even hear it over the grass cutter over there. But that's a little battery beep. Now again, you can make it beep automatically by holding this button down here for 3 seconds. But hear it? That comes into play. Say if I get stuck in that field of goldenrods over there, that would help find this thing, turning that beeper on. Okay, let's swap batteries and see if we can fly it with the multi-protocol transmitter next. So hold on, folks, while I do that. Okay, before we go into demonstrating the multi-protocol, I just realized I did not demonstrate that one key return. Okay, I just plugged in a battery, a new fresh battery inside there, and connected it to the controller. We are connected. Now I'm going to set that direction as my flight direction, so the opposite direction will be my return direction. And to set that flight direction, I push this and hold the trim button up for 3 seconds until the tail moves. So we are set. Now I'm going to arm the motors. The motor is armed. We're ready to fly. So let's get it in the air and demonstrate that one key return. Now we're flying up here because the guy decided to cut grass down in that direction, so we're going to stay up here for now. But let's get it in the air. Okay, let's go down that way and then activate one key return. Oh no, I activated the buzzer. I held it down for 3 seconds. Turn it off. Okay, shut down the buzzer. Let's go back upwind again. Boy, it's getting real breezy. That thing's just hovering in air, but let's go back down this way again. You just got to do a quick press downward for the one key return. So quick press. And there's the one key return. And let's do that one more time. Another thing I have not demonstrated was the auto takeoff. But I'm going to skip that, folks. The auto takeoff, all it does is go up and it does circles, and it's breezy today, so those circles are going to move with the wind, and I don't want to do that. So going upwind again and demonstrated one key return. One key return activated. Turning around and flying back toward me. Now again, if this airplane was to my left or to my right, that would be flying away. Let's come down lower and activate one key return. Like right there. See now, is that flying back toward me? I don't think so. So one key return is not true return to home, folks. Got to keep that in mind. So let's bring it back over again. Trying to bring it down in my general vicinity. And now let's switch to the multi-protocol transmitter and try that out. So hold on, folks, while I do that. Okay, I am connected with the multi-protocol transmitter, as you can see here, checking the surfaces. Left, that's right. Left, right, and down and up. So we should be good, ready to go. Let's see, make sure I got the switches set up correctly. Let's see if we're stabilized. Okay, so that's stabilized. Let's make sure that this is manual, or that's manual. No movement. So, okay, we're going to take off in stabilized mode. We're going to start with stabilized and then switch to manual with this transmitter. Actually, beginner, mid, and then expert. So, wind's blowing from that direction, about 7 miles per hour. Firing it up and giving it a hand toss. So, wow. I can tell you right now, this is much more smoother control with this, much more smoother control as compared to the stock transmitter. So yeah, you probably want to fly this with a better transmitter than what's provided, because wow, I can see a huge difference. So let's go to mid position. Actually, that was expert. Mid position. Mid position now. Is it still stabilized? Yeah. Just much more control. As you can see there, much sharper turns in mid position. Using this controller. But how about doing loops? Oh yeah. But no rolls. Okay, let's glide it down from mid position. Gliding it down. It glides real well. I'm surprised. Okay. Let's go to expert. Get some speed on it. Going through the sun. Going back to beginner. Okay, back to expert. Whoa, back to beginner. I need some downward trim. Let me try that. Is that helping any? Coming around. Back to expert. We want to turn it around. Want up higher, back to expert. Yeah, this needs some trimmed. Yep. Trying to trim it, but no, it's real tail heavy. So I got to play with adjusting that. Okay, going back to beginner. Adjusting the battery placement. The way I got it set up, I told you I put it straight up and down, but I guess that's not far enough forward. This needs probably a little more weight on the nose out of the box. At least I'm experiencing. I wish to put a little more weight on the nose. But boy, that thing's so silent. So silent while it flies. But it looks good. It looks darn good. Going to mid position. Try to do a loop in mid. Trying again. There we go. Loop. Or kinda. Coming down. Back to expert. Trying that expert again. Doing an aileron roll. Okay, coming down. Yeah. The position I got it in now, it's having problems flying in expert because that battery is not in a good spot. Let me see if I can move it farther forward to help it a bit. So hold on while I do that. Let's go over, take a look. See if I can adjust the position of the battery, moving it forward. Okay, I tried moving that battery forward. It's just not happening, but I have some putty, folks. Let's try the old putty trick, sticking it on the nose here, see if it sticks. Maybe I put it on top, it'd be better. Hopefully it'll stick. I'm not too optimistic about it holding on, but we'll see. That'll give us some nose weight. So we'll see if this works. This is an old trick. So ready, set. There we go. Okay, going back to expert. There we go. That's better. That's much better, even with the wind. Okay, the wind's buffeting it, but it's not as bad as it was. It was real. Whoa. Even okay. That wind is just hitting it too hard today, folks. Unfortunately. But with that nose putty on there, it seems to be flying even smoother without the desire to keep on climbing at low power. I don't want it to climb at low power. I want it to fly low like I'm doing right now. But yeah, you can fly with the multi-protocol transmitter, as you see here. See, I like to pinch, folks, because some of you may notice my hands tend to tremble a bit in my old age. Actually, they've trembled my whole life. So it's coffee, folks. I drink a lot of coffee. I shouldn't do that. It really does give me the jitters. But boy, this is a wonderful flyer. Let's go back to mid position so we can do some faster turns around my position here. I'm trying to do smooth turns around me, but the wind's not letting me. And a loopy in mid position loop. Going back to beginner. Whoa. Right into the sun. That's another thing, folks. Beginners like me. No. Watch the sun, folks. The sun will blind you. Let's take this back off again, see if we'll fly without it. The sun does affect you, as most pilots will be able to tell you. Don't fly through the sun. Okay, clipping the propeller back on. We are ready to go again. And we'll finish out the flight with the multi protocol. Oh, yow. What is going on here? Yeah, I need weight. It's extremely tail heavy now. So that crash there moved something. Let's go over and get it and see if we can adjust the battery again. I think the battery got moved around. Okay, I rebounded to the transmitter. Hopefully that'll fix the problem. There, it was acting weird. Still acting weird. The heck? Flying manual now. Oh no, maybe I was in... Okay, I'm sorry, folks. I thought that was in automatic mode, you know, stabilized mode, but obviously I was in manual, manual flight there. So that corrected it. Sorry, folks. The switches are backwards on my multi-protocol switch positions. But now it's flying nice and smooth in the wind. And that wind is picking up again. Bring it around me. Showing it up close. So all in all, yeah, this is a wonderful airplane, folks. Wonderful, wonderful plane. Volantex and Eachine, they've done it again. Or Volantex, actually. So, okay, folks. What do you think the next Warbird's going to be? You know, I told you my guess, or my hope. But what do you all think it should be? Let's see, what's next? You know, one bird that I'd love to see, but it'd be hard to do, is P-38 Lightning. It'd be a double motor plane, but that's another one of my favorites. But flying good. Let's go up high again. Full manual. Just trying to keep it up there. Am I a manual? No. I don't think I am. What did I switch then? Now I'm in manual. Now I'm in manual. But we're going to fly it up there in manual for a bit. Just gliding. Right there is a thermal area coming out of it because the wind is a little too strong. But yeah, this flies easier than the 400s in the wind, but it's still a bit iffy if the wind is a little too strong like it is right now. To fly manual. In low wind day, I guess it'd be great. You know, no wind at all. It'd be fantastic. But right now, I'm having a little problem here with the wind. Let's go back to mid. Showing what it can do in mid. So, throttling up a bit and trying to do a loop, but there we go. Got it. Into the wind. And gliding back from way up there. Oh, not through the sun. Coming down. And we're almost out of power, I think. It's getting iffy on power right now, so that means the battery's getting low. I'm going to call quits because this does not have a telemetry warning, although the airplane should. It should beep on low battery. And maybe we'll keep on flying, see if the airplane beeps. I really don't want to destroy that battery, though. One more time. Into the air. Oh, come on, wind. You know, it was supposed to be a smooth day today. As usual, the weatherman here in Erie isn't very effective or very accurate. Something about Lake Erie makes it hard for them to predict the weather here accurately. But continuing to fly with the Multi protocol. It's coming down lower, 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 lower. Lower, lower, lower. Almost. When downwind and a gust came along and it lost lift there. So all in all, you know, I showed you can fly this with the Multi protocol. I'm not going to fly it much longer, folks, with the Multi protocol. I just want to show that you can use it. And it is much smoother control. I can feel it with this better transmitter. The better gimbals on it. Nice flying plane. Nice flying plane. Nice looking plane. Going downwind again and almost lost it. Be careful there. Going downwind with this plane, it'll lose altitude quick. Okay, I think that's enough to show what this plane can do. I was hoping to hear a beep beep, but we're still not hearing it. Seeing if we can get LVC warning using a multi-protocol transmitter since we're not using the stock transmitter. Well, we get a low battery warning from the plane with the plane beeping. We'll find out. Continuing to fly. Let's go out a bit. Go out a bit and go up higher. There's a turkey vulture up there. Let's go up and see him. Going up to see the turkey vulture. See the turkey vulture way up there? And shoot him down. Okay, gliding down from where that turkey vulture is. He's in thermal, and so am I. I shouldn't have done that. Oh, there's another turkey vulture. Two of them. Flying with the vultures. Oh, come on, I'll take you down. Okay, they didn't want to play anymore. Okie dokes, come on back down then. We'll bring it down. Throttle is off. Gliding down. Gliding down. Boy, that thing's just hovering there. No throttle, folks. Going back up again. Is turkey vultures coming back again? No. Oh man, that wind is picking up. So let's bring it in close. Wonderful plane. About 10 miles per hour now, folks. Just hovering in the wind. It's doing it. Let's go down here a little more because I want to fly. That lip there on the land there makes the wind go up. That's why the turkey vultures are here trying to soar, slope soar off of it. And I can do the same. And I am right now, slope soaring with a P-51. This glides surprisingly well, maybe because it's so light. It does a real good job gliding. But I'm still not hearing any beeping. Let's come down lower and see if it's beeping. Nope, I'm not hearing beeping. Okay. Oh, let's try that again. With this wind, it's starting to get hard to fly this. Getting real breezy here now. One more time. Off into the air we go. So yeah, it's a nice gentle flyer. So it's really a lot like the warbirds, the 400mm warbirds, except more stable. A bit more stable because of the size. And the power seems to be about the same. You know, even though it's brushless, maybe because it's a bigger plane. But the reaction with the power similar to the 400mm airplanes, the brush motor airplanes. Because they do have a big 1020 in them, 1020 brushed motor. Maybe that's why. Yeah. So, just slope soaring here. Good Lord, that thing glides nicely. It slope soars real well. Surprised. We're going to get a long flight time today. Just staying in the air with the wind. Another turkey vulture working its way over here. Right in the thermals. Oh no, that's not a turkey vulture. That's a hawk. I better come down. No. That is a hawk. I know. Okay. So we're going to let him go by. I don't want him eating my aeroplane. Let him go by, Mr. Hawk. Where'd he go? He's over there. You think he'd attack this, folks? Or is this too big for him to attack? I think it might be too big for him to attack. He's over there. Well, we'll see. We'll see. He's gone away, I hope. So, boy, oh boy, that thing's slope soaring. Okay, hear the beep. Coming down. I'm hearing it beeping. So yeah. So, hear a beep. That's a good thing that this thing is so quiet. You can hear that beep. Even when it was way up there. So yeah. Not a bad plane. Oh no, I like this. I like it very much. The Miss Helen. Let me disconnect that battery. Just stop the beeping. So, battery unplugged. So all in all, yeah, you got something here, Eachine and Volantex. These are neat airplanes. Really, really nice looking airplane. Flies great. Flies like the 400 millimeter warbirds, except more stable. Okay, a lot more stable. Still has problems in wind, you know, on a windy day like today. You know, it was buffing it around, but oh no, I was enjoying the heck out of this plane. It's fun plane. So, hope you enjoyed this flight. This is Quadcopter 101, signing out.
Hi, Quadcopter 101 here again. Hey, if you want to get your own shout out in one of my future videos, make sure you subscribe to my channel. It's real simple. Just go to my channel page and click on that subscribe. And also make sure to click that bell button right next to the subscribe button. That way you get notified when I release a brand new video immediately and give you a chance to get that first shout out. So give it a try, folks.